Hey guys, before this video begins, I just wanted to take a moment to tell you all that this weekend we're probably going to have a fall State of the Channel live stream. I'm going to try and enable StreamYard so that we won't have the cataclysmic problems that have plagued us in the past. So look forward to that, and I hope to see you all there. Anyways, on with the video. Hey everybody, it's CPUSA here, and today we are getting a great look at how well San Francisco's gun control laws are working. So, of course, there's this big picture in the headlines, and it's, of course, the main topic of our video today. But this was taken in San Francisco maybe 3 days ago. I'm sort of late to this story as far as the internet goes, but I just wanted to break this down for my community on YouTube to give the laws behind, or rather, the laws that are being broken behind this picture, and why it is that San Francisco seems to be having a massive uptick in shootings this year, over 100% uptick. So let's break it down. This is actually one of the first articles I've not done on the Blaze, so I'm diversifying, guys. Give me points for that. But this photo, of course, our main focus here is going to be on this AK-47. So this is a very low res photo, but there's actually three distinguishing features that I want people to notice here. A, the uh, the lack of a stock. B, the magazine. And C, the barrel length. Why are those three important? Well, I'm sure everybody's thinking, hey, it's California, so why is there a 30 to maybe 40 round magazine in this gun? Well, that's a great question. And to be honest, it's probably A, from the black market, or B, from out of state. Now, the rest of this gun is a bit more of a complicated story. The barrel is not, or this is what we would call an SBR, a short barreled rifle. What is a short barreled rifle? Well, it is a rifle or any kind of non pistol, non firearm classification as far as the ATF goes that doesn't have a barrel longer than or equal to 16 inches. Why is 16 inches important? Don't ask me. It was part of the National Firearms Act and back in the 1980s, but one of the worst pieces of legislation ever passed in the United States. And it made it so that it's a felony to own any kind of firearm without a license that has a barrel length of under 16 inches. This AK does not have a 16-inch barrel. The barrel of an AK starts around here. This is the action. This is what moves back and forth when you pull the trigger. When you pull the trigger, this drops the hammer, hits the bullet, which is right about here. The action cycles back and reloads the next round. This is the gas tube. All of the pressure that is released, all the gas that's released when the bullet fires down the barrel goes up the gas tube and reciprocates the action. That's how an AK works. It's a very simple design. Now, the barrel, like I said, starts about here, so that the gas tube can be about here, and then the bullet would be exiting here. So you're not losing much gas, meaning that the system and the action will work properly. And in longer barrels, it's not really affected by that, but you can't make a barrel much shorter than this, otherwise the gas system starts to malfunction, and you're going to get a terrible action. So that's a felony. This in California, I don't know if it's a felony, but it's a crime to have that magazine. And this, judging by the color of the magazine, because there's not a lot of AK mags out there that are 30 rounds and look like this, and just the size of the mag, I'm thinking this isn't even a 30 round. This is a 40 or 45 round magazine. Because those are on the market, and they're a little bit bigger than 30 rounds. So that's what I'm thinking this is. That's definitely a crime. Now, what's up with the stock? Well, you see, in California, we have this thing called the assault weapons ban. Now, what the assault weapons ban does is it bans any kind of weapon that, well, it bans certain models of weapons, and it also bans certain features on firearms. Namely, the fact that, and we can't really see here because her hand is on the grip, but say this grip is just a normal AK grip, that would also be a crime. That would also be a violation of the assault weapons ban. The stock is missing, and that's important because what the another part of the assault weapons ban was that it made the absence of stocks on rifles illegal. It calls them assault weapons, and assault weapons are banned in California because California is a communist dictatorship, and I want out. Now, we're going to give this lady the benefit of the doubt and say that this grip here did indeed have a fin on it, a plastic fin, which is a part that sticks out behind the handle and is a little fin that prevents you from getting your thumb around. Now, it does look like she does have her thumb around, but we're going to say that, for the sake of making this photo look not as bad as it is, that there is a fin there because we can't really see. So we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. So that's at least three major violations, one of which is definitely a felony with this weapon. Now, it's San Francisco. This is the city that has some of the strictest gun control in the entire nation. And yet, we are seeing a almost 100% uptick in gun crime from 2019. Mid-year San Francisco crime statistics show gun violence is up, auto break-ins down. I'm not so much concerned with auto break-ins down, we're concerned with gun violence is up, because obviously that's worse. San Francisco Police Chief Bill Scott and Mayor Landon Breed on Monday announced that the city's mid-year crime statistics showing that since mid-2019, auto break-ins are down while gun violence and homicides are up. According to the data, homicides mid-year in 2019 were the lowest in 58 years, with just 20. But homicides mid-year in 2020 increased to 22. That's already two more than there were in the same point in 2019. This year so far, 26 homicides have occurred. So that is almost a 100% uptick. Gun violence also rose with the number of shooting victims, both fatal and non-fatal, mid-year at 119. That's more than double the 58 shooting victims recorded in mid-year in both 2019 and 2020. Somebody could do the math there. I'm not going to do it in my head, but that's obviously even more than a 100% uptick. So why is San Francisco becoming drastically more violent? Well, of course, everybody knows that leftist cities are more dangerous than right-wing cities. It's just a fact. You can't ignore that anymore, especially since Chicago looks like a war zone. But that still doesn't explain why massive gun statistics or massive gun violence statistics are going up. Well, there's a simple answer and a complicated answer. The simple answer is that the idiots and the people who actually want to do harm know that they can get away with this stuff in leftist cities, so they're coming across the Mexican border and bringing these kinds of firearms with them because they can get smuggled into Mexico and then brought up across the border, and then people like her end up with these from the black market, or they get brought in from other states and smuggled through security at the border, and then they're just pawned off here. And California is not exactly doing anything to stop that despite our draconian gun restrictions. The other, more complicated answer is that, like I discussed in an earlier video, San Francisco wants this to happen. And they're purposefully enabling criminals to have criminal firearms in order to take guns out of the hands of people who are actually following the law. Now, you all can go back and watch my Canada gun control video where I break down this fallacy more. But in essence, what it is it's a logic fallacy that if a government wants to do something, the easiest way to do it is to go and address the problem. Now, if they want to get power, the easiest way to do it is to create a problem. Say you're going to fix the problem if you get X, Y, and Z. Once you get X, Y, and Z, make it look like you're actually doing something, but in reality, you only make the problem worse so that you can campaign on that again and you get yourself back in power again. So that is essentially what's happening in California. We have a lot of idiots in this state who see this picture and go, it's a firearm and it's an assault weapon. And they don't do the digging to realize that California is doing next to nothing to prohibit criminals from bringing these kinds of firearms into the state. They're actually doing a hell of a lot more to make sure that law abiding citizens can't get their hands on anything even close to this. And based on the number of criminal modifications to this firearm, or just the fact that it came stock with this configuration, I wouldn't even be surprised if it had an auto sear, meaning that it has the ability to fire fully automatic. That wouldn't even surprise me. Uh, Now, California is obviously the trash can of the state, or the trash can of the nation, although New York's certainly competing with us. But I think everybody can look at this photo and say, hey, something's wrong. This shouldn't be allowed in the state that has the most strict gun control out of probably the entire nation. And with that, I'll leave you guys off. I'm trying to make my videos a little bit shorter. But stay armed and stay safe, Patriots, especially for those of you in the Bay Area, because there's this crazy freak who, to my knowledge, has not yet been caught running around with a criminal firearm that she should not have been allowed to possess if the state was doing something right. So, thank you all for watching and have an awesome day.